Horizon Zero Dawn, the hit PlayStation 4 exclusive title. We're going to be reviewing it today. Hi everybody, welcome back to Daily Gamer Opinion. Today is a review, and I am joined by my buddy, Mr. That way, Justin.
Are we viewing something? Am I supposed to be viewing something outside the window? Huh?
I was trying to point towards your... There we go. I did it. I pointed towards your screen there. Justin is my, as you guys all know from my previous episodes, longtime friend, cohort in video gaming, and cohort in many different podcasts I've done in the past, including the recent one, the Stupidity, which is actually gaining traction now. Yeah, cool. Good episodes. We just released episode 15 or 14. 14. Yeah, 14.
Somewhere around there.
Anyway, so check it out. Go to iTunes, look up ETS or Enter the Stupidity, and you can listen to it there.
Yep.
All right, on to the meat and potatoes of what we are doing tonight, and that is a review.
Or is it potatoes?
Potato tomato. We are going to be reviewing Horizon Zero Dawn. And this awesome dude gave that game to me for my birthday. I have enjoyed it, but the game designer in me found numerous problems with it. I tried to get over them. I really, really, really tried, but I had too many problems. I just couldn't get over the negatives. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just go highlight the positives of the game for you guys. We'll talk a little bit about it first, and then we'll talk about the positives, then we'll go to the negatives, and then we'll give our score, each of our scores, and then we'll average it out for the final score, the official final score for Daily Gamer Opinion. All right, so Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I said in the intro, it is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and it is very graphically beautiful. That's the one great thing I can say about it. But right now, I want to talk about what the game is. The game is set, several thousand years in the future?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be several thousand.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's far in the future. And society has reverted back to tribal mentality. And there are robots that have become animals. Basically, I'm not to give spoilers, so I'm going to keep this as spoiler-free as possible.
Yes, they're animals, not dinosaurs, like Joe kept trying to tell me they were.
Some of them are dinos. And in fact, here's a little bit of information fact for you here. The original game design was supposed to be a robot dinosaur hunting game with machine guns. They kept two models of the original design in the game, and the other ones they redid.
Yes, because it made more sense.
It did. And I actually prefer it the way it is. It makes more sense. It's got a very gripping story. It's a single player only. It's an action-adventure title. I would not say RPG in the slightest, but it has a skill tree, but the skill tree is not what you think.
It has an RPG element to it. That's about all you could say.
Yeah,
that it has
but
RPG.
It is classified as an action-adventure.
Yes, it is definitely an action-adventure game.
So we're going to go ahead and go into the positives of the game. I'm going to go first. I'm the host.
Oh, you are?
I have that right. Like I said, the graphics are beautiful. They are very, very beautiful. I am a terrain designer, a level designer by trade, and I wished I was a part of that. Because the terrain is stunning. And I was looking for problems with it. I didn't find them, except for the fact I fell through the floor a couple times into the world.
Oh, I never had that problem.
4 times, in fact. I had to restart the game. But there is one problem with the graphics I have, and it's a massive problem that I couldn't get over, and that's the character faces. They looked like rubber. They looked like plastic faces.
Yeah, I've seen a few shows that did.
Every scene.
No, I didn't feel like it was every scene, but I did feel like it was...
Especially when it was raining.
Yeah, definitely when it was raining. When it was raining, you definitely got that feel.
Yeah, they looked fake. And that drove me up a wall. And this is one of the few games where the lead protagonist.
Antagonist, the side character.
Yeah. The lead character is a non-attractive female.
Okay, I actually thought she was, but
No, not at all.
I thought she was.
Well, teach their own. Well, it's been, I've been reading online a lot about it. Most people are saying that she's like the least attractive lead female character in a video game to date.
She's the less overly sexist female character,
There
lead
is
female
that.
character in a game.
So the story I thought was extremely engaging and well done. There's some problems with the story, but I'll get into that in a second. But overall, when you get over the problems, it's not exactly really unique, but it takes a very unique twist on an overdone story to make it engaging.
Yeah.
I was really engaged by the story. I wanted to find out more about what was going on, and just as the fact is, I did beat this game as of yesterday. So
100%?
yeah, I did a little trick. I got smart, and I went in the main story just enough to get a particular piece of armor, and then I went and did every side quest and everything. That way I was like unstoppable.
Nice.
Yeah. Weapons and traps are a lot of fun in the game. I found myself using traps way more than I actually needed to because I had fun with them. Setting up little traps for different encounters just to destroy them. And then I discovered, thanks to my son, that I could actually blow off some weapons off of some of the bigger guys and use those against them. That got fun.
Yeah, that I did a lot.
Yeah.
Especially once I got the is that the Shadow Cartridge bow that started doing that?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, no, it was the one before that. It was the one... The
I
regular...
don't think I got it. I don't think I got it till the Shadow Cartridge.
The-
That made it actually more consistent.
The rare one actually contained the arrow that blew things off of them. No, the sharpshooter bow. Sorry, the sharpshooter bow has that arrow. That's what I used.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot.
that's one of the sharpshooter ones. But there was one that had the exploding arrow that just really just like tore everything off. I think that was just Shadow Cartridge one.
I never used the war bow. I didn't like the elements. I never played with the elements. I never used corrosive at all.
Corrosive I never used, or the corruptive arrows I never used. The flame arrows I used a lot. The ice arrows I used a lot, and the electric arrows I used on occasions.
I just blew crap up. I got the sling bow, the slingshot that launched explosives. The sticky bombs were my favorite.
I did enjoy that one. I used mostly the elemental ones for that as well, and I used that primarily on the dungeon, on the
Sticky
big
bombs were the way to go, man.
on the big dungeon ones.
Especially with stalkers, which I despised. I hit them
Nah,
with 3
no.
sticky bombs and they were dead.
Stalkers never bothered me.
They were dead. The watchers were nothing. Stalkers were a pain in the neck. And I hated the birds more than anything.
The birds were annoying. The birds were really annoying.
And I killed every dinosaur. Every one of them. I'm not going to say anything more about that because there's things I can spoil, but... that's about it for my positives, honestly, guys. That's all I got. What do you got, Justin?
I thought how big the world ended up being. I actually wasn't expecting the world to be as big as it was. Was actually a pretty nice positive for it.
I was kind of disappointed in the size, honestly.
I really wasn't. Actually, I was expecting something smaller to start and DLC to come later. That's what I was expecting because that's just the general model now. So that's what I was expecting.
Have they even talked about DLC for this game?
I don't think there's even a season pass for it, so I don't think it's even part of it.
Which would be a miracle because I'm so tired of the DLC garbage right now. If they had a complete full game out of the gate, that's a miracle. I guess
I know there have been a
for
few.
it.
I know there's been a few patches for it lately. I haven't played it since a few of them, but
It has bugs.
what else was there? Yeah, I just looked it up on the PlayStation Store. It doesn't look like it has a season pass, so it doesn't look like there's any DLC outside of like some special stuff you got with the deluxe edition.
That actually gives me a positive on it. Because I am tired of the whole DLC garbage.
Because usually when you buy a deluxe edition of a game, usually it comes with the the deal with the season pass.
Right.
Also, I did like how. I think part of the reason why I like this is because I also like the Shannara Chronicles, and it's like a future Earth as well. And I liked how they integrated that kind of architecture in the game.
And that's what I'm saying. It has a story that's kind of played out with the post-apocalyptic style, but it's with a unique twist to it.
Yeah, it was a mechanical, magical kind of twist.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say there's any magic in the game at all, really.
Not really. It was high tech.
Or did I kind of cap on those?
No, I think that's pretty much it for the positives.
All right, moving on to the negatives. And this is where it gets a little bit longer, guys, so bear with me. A lot. Like I said before, the face models are terrible, especially in the rain. They look plasticky. There's way too many robots that will bum rush you to death every 10 feet. Especially when you get in the second part where it opens up a lot more. It is terrible. When you're trying to travel, you get hit by so many different things. And the stealth is terrible. The stealth tree is worthless. I saw no difference in the stealth sprint versus regular sprint. Zero. The only way to do stealth is to hide in bushes. That's it.
I ended up just fast traveling to a bunch of places. So
yeah. The climbing mechanics in this game, they tried to make it too much like Assassin's Creed, and they failed miserably.
that was so bad.
It gets old super fast. It is terrible. Very terrible. And most of the game is based around the stupid climbing mechanic. I hated it. I couldn't wait to get past it. And I'm glad you agree with me on that one, Justin.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest gripe on the game, is its climbing. The climbing was so bad.
And it was all over the place. It's like they went out of their way to put climbing in the design, and it was terrible. The Hunter Lodge was way too short and very lackluster finish. It was kind of portrayed as this big side quest thing that fell short. Maybe 3 or 4 main missions in it, and that was it. The challenges for the lodges and the hunting grounds will just piss you off. There's bugs. There's a lot of bugs in it, and I eventually got blazing suns on everything just to see the weapons, and the weapons were nothing that I used except for the slingshot. Everything else was worthless to me, and worthless to most people who play this game, I'm assuming, because most of the elemental bow is kind of worthless. You got an elemental slingshot that does better.
The bow can go further. You can get a lot done with the bow.
Yeah. So the hunting lodge, I had such high hopes for it, and I was hoping to get the rest of the weapons as I beat the lodge, but no. Nothing. In fact, it was a lot of the quest rewards are retarded because they give you these like containers that all they do is get basic stuff like a wire and garbage you can get off of 2 dinosaurs or robots, and it was really, really disappointing. Most of the rewards were super disappointing. I had a big problem with the lead character and the fact that she mumbled to herself every 10 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't mind
over
that.
and over and over again about the same damn thing.
I didn't mind that. I've kind of gotten used to that.
On top of
in
that,
other games, so
she'll start mumbling over dialogue.
I never had that problem.
That
was something unique for you. I didn't have that one.
Maybe she was just more crazy in my game. I don't know, but she kept mumbling, and I would go talk to somebody, and she would still mumble while they were talking to her, and I couldn't hear either conversation. Oh, I wanted to slap her. I know they're trying to do that to remind you to do things, and remind you that you can do these. Oh, I can tame this dinosaur. I can tame this one. I can tame it. I can tame it. As I'm walking every 2 feet. But I want to. I want to kill it. A lot of the personalities of the NPCs were very, or lack thereof, were lackluster and dry. Some of them...
Yeah, a few of them were dry.
Some of the lead guys were pretty good, though. But most of them were just they felt robotic, like the dinosaurs or the monsters, the animal robots around them.
Well, they hadn't learned anything. That has bigger meaning if you guys played a game.
Yeah, yeah. I'm keeping my mouth shut on that because I can go into a spoiler range. Gathering medicinal herbs is the most tedious and useless thing in the game.
Oh, I abused that. I I use those all the time.
Well, yeah, but in order to get a full bar, you have to gather between 8 and 10 of them, if you can find them. And I even
Oh,
had the
really?
enhanced one where it was 24%. Okay, there's a skill that gives
I
you
know.
more as you pick it, and it's 4 freaking percent. I was getting so frustrated because I got the one where I can carry double and I can have 4 health bar loads. But then it goes so slow that when these dinosaurs hit you, and most of the time they will one-shot you or get close to one-shooting you, especially the bigger ones. My son kind of coined it very well. He said that the dodging and combat remind him a lot of Dark Souls.
Yes, it was.
You have to do dodge, 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 dodge. If you get touched, you're dead. Unless you get the best armor in the game,
Which I had.
where you're a tank. No, I'm talking about the armor.
I had that too.
Yeah, or the power cells.
I got that much later, but I had the other.
I got it earlier on because it was a lifesaver.
Yeah, I had the other best armor, and I probably only died. Mostly it was just by my own mistake, except on the last fight, I died multiple times just because I wasn't prepared for it.
Some of
Just lack of preparation.
A lot of the robots were very unimaginative, and they were all identical. I think they should have put a randomizer in the models to where some things were different about them, and it's like the same breeds, so they weren't the exact copy all over the place. Some of the models, though, were really cool. I like the Rockbiter ones.
Oh, yeah, I know which ones you're all talking about.
The big giant worms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were cool. I hated the Stormbird with a bloody passion.
You hate all games with birds.
No, I don't mind them. I just hate fighting them. Especially in this game.
And
I felt the skill system was very lackluster.
Hunter, yeah, the skill system was. I didn't like the skill system. I felt like it was a little weak for what the game could have been.
Oh, very weak. It could have added so much more to the game. In fact, it was like these little tiny itsy-bitsy changes that half of the skills did nothing.
But that's more work for the sequel.
No,
Which was
they're going to have a
heavily
lot of
hinted.
work for a sequel.
It was
game-
heavily hinted at the end.
Yeah, the game sells well, has sold well. In fact, on Friday's episode, guys, I'm going over the top 10 sell lists, and this one might be in there.
I think it will be, at least for a PS4 game, it will be in there.
I can tell you exactly where it's at, but I'm not going to. You have to wait till Friday. Okay, so combat with some of the robots just felt tedious and pointless. Extremely tedious.
Yeah, on occasions.
Yeah. They added a merchant. In fact, okay, this is where the things get kind of pointless. This is what pissed me off. They added a merchant in the main city, Meridian, that will sell you all the lenses and hearts of the game, which is the rare and very rare parts, or the uncommon and rare parts, that you need to buy different things. But you can buy them right in Meridian.
For a lot of money, though.
It was nothing compared to what I was getting. I had 7,000 constantly, and they were 800.
I wasn't farming that much.
I didn't farm. That was me just trying to run for my life.
Oh, no, it's just like... See, you walked through everywhere. I didn't.
Well, I didn't walk through everywhere. I was trying to find a stupid plant so I could get my health up. So I had to walk.
It's not hard to find
Oh,
those.
and one thing I didn't put in my notes.
You just had a hard time finding it because...
This is going to be a minor spoiler, so if you guys are planning on playing this game soon or have not, skip ahead about 20 seconds. I'm telling you right now. And skip now. Okay, so when you tame these guys to fight for you, they don't move. They stay in their little path. They don't follow you. They don't go outside their path.
I had watchers leave their path.
I didn't. Not a single time. Not a single one. And I tamed those big hunky dudes, the Thundermauls, and they didn't do nothing.
I didn't care about taming those.
Taming was worthless. If you weren't getting a mount, it was worthless.
I tamed a saber ones a few times. Those were powerful.
Okay, ending right now. In spoiler. Okay. All right. My last point here is the story can get very confusing at times if you do not find and play every single damn audio file and read the mountain of text on everything that you have to find to make sense of the story. It got tedious. Now, mind you, there were some very sad moments that kind of hit you, especially in the beginning of the game, but it was just a tedious, monotonous thing to do, to have to go through these abandoned bases, if you will, and find all this stuff. And most of the places were empty. There wasn't much to them other than these occasional audio files and occasional text files. And that's it. And it was just a kind of a worthless space.
I like exploring. I like dungeon crawling.
Yeah,
without
there was,
having to fight.
I like exploring and dungeon crawling when there's things to find.
I didn't feel like I was missing anything with that.
And I feel like they could have added a lot more weaponry to it.
Yeah, I do feel like the weaponry was lack.
Okay, what are any other negatives you want to add there, Justin?
I didn't like the crafting system.
I'm with you there.
I thought it was... Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever crafted anything outside of making arrows, making ammunition for anything. That was the only thing I really used crafting for.
Yeah.
And to relocate the runes or whatever on my armor.
I did start making health potions because I got away from the stupid plants and just did health potions because they were instant health.
Yeah, I still gathered all. I think I
recommendation is to go health potions.
I think I crafted like 3 or 4 health potions.
It's so expensive because all the dang meat you have to hunt. Yeah, there's live animals.
Yes.
All the damn meat you have to hunt just to make a single health potion when it was cheaper just to go buy them.
Life will find a way.
Well, the story kind of tells you how it found a way, but in a way. All right, I think that's enough ranting on this part. I think we're going to go ahead. And any last thoughts, Justin, before we give it a score?
Good game. I still think if you have a PS4, it's still worthy of a try.
Yeah, I think it is. But despite the really frustrating negatives, if you're really into the story of a game and graphics, this is a good game to check out.
It was a good first try of an action RPG from this developer.
Yes.
Because the combat that was interesting, and I expected it to be fairly interesting just because of the developer. The developer's the ones who do Killzone. So
it was very interesting, and I worked for them, by the way, at one point. There was very interesting time. Okay, let's put it this way. The combat was interesting in one section, but terrible in another. Fighting humans, it was terrible. Fighting robots, it was fun.
Yes. And I think this was a good first effort from them for this kind of game.
Yeah.
And I look forward to a sequel that they're probably going to do because it sold really well. And
it did, but the reviews are kind of eh. Some of them were really good, but
it's like the initial reviews were actually raving for it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, my score for this is a 6.5 out of 10. The negatives were just too hard to come. Too hard for me to get by. I did beat the game. The story compelled me enough to beat the game. So I wanted to find out what happened. The shortcomings, though, I just couldn't give it more than that. If it's above a 5, though, in this rating system, it's worth playing. If it's below a 5, don't touch it. That's how it goes. So it's barely above the 5, but it's enough to where it is like Justin said, a really good attempt on their part. I think that they could take these problems they have with the game and abolish them for a sequel, and it would just be phenomenal.
Yes.
What
Even just taking away a few of them
Yeah.
would actually just help a lot.
What kind of score do you give it, Justin?
I give it a 7 golden bananas.
A 7? All right. So we're right there at 6.75 total score. And I remember that golden banana days. An old show that me and Justin used to do. It was piles of poo for negative and golden bananas for positive. Was it negative or that was a good review. That was a good system. All right, so that was our review of Horizon Zero Dawn. If you're a PlayStation 4 owner, need a new game to try out, give this one a go.